Hi, it's Annette Ba'u, and welcome to the Millionaire Insider. For over 30 years, I've been advising and researching the top 1% and 2% of millionaires to learn what millionaires with amazing lives do differently. And now I'm providing you practical, easy to implement insights so that you can take your business, your life, and your money to the next level. And today, my friends, we're diving into Millionaire Yoga. Now, before you go, oh my gosh, that's too woo-woo, what I want to share with you is that I grew up very black and white. It's either good or bad, right or wrong. And what I found as I started researching and working with millionaires is that they were a lot more open to looking at something, trying it, and then seeing what results they got. And I'm telling you, my friends, it was a game changer for me. And the reason I wanted to have a section inside the Millionaire Insider on raising your vibe is because we all operate at a different level. And from going through the grid, which is episode 118, you can go to millionaireseries.com/118, you can dive deep into the grid. But the grid's all about where we show up, and it's how we measure our worth barometer, which is our belief in our self-esteem. Are we operating above the grid in a higher energy, love, peace, joy, doing what we're supposed to do, showing up at our best, or below the grid, fear, anger, worry, I'm right, you're wrong, bully, victim, all of that stuff that's so toxic and doesn't get us anywhere. So what I found in the process of this, and I started doing yoga way back, way long before it was popular and it was a cool thing to do, because what I found is it allowed me to quiet down my mind. In fact, what I found through my teacher is that whatever you're experiencing in the outer world first begins in the inner world. So what I found, and what I'm going to be sharing with you on Raise Your Vibe series, is that a lot of these modalities are really designed to calm down our parasympathetic system and to calm that inner working down so that we can get really clear, really focused, and achieve whatever we want. And so one of the things that I get asked a lot is, how did I grow 1.5 inches? So as many of you know, as we get older, gravity starts taking over and we shrink. And I was joking about it on one of my calls with my mastermind members, and they were like, did you say you grew 1.5 inches? And what I thought was really funny is a lot of it were men asking me. I'm like, yeah, I did. And what was funny is the first year when I went to my doctor for my annual checkup, they didn't really say anything. The next year, she said, is this right? You've grown 1.5 inches? I said, oh yeah. And she said, what are you doing? I said, I do yoga. I do restorative yin yoga every morning. Now I'm also combining Kundalini yoga, and I also do a chant. And so stay tuned, you'll get some of that. But she goes, that's unbelievable. I mean, it was like, she goes, I've never in my 26 years of working in a doctor's office ever seen that. So my mastermind members were asking me for it. So I was down in Puerto Vallarta. I recorded a clip on what I do, and I'm going to be sharing that with you today. But before I do, please subscribe and ring the bell. When you ring the bell, you get notified of bonus episodes, and this is a bonus episode. So this episode is sponsored by our Mindset Mastery Masterclass. You can go to millionaireseries.com/mindset and learn what you need to know about your mindset. Let's face it, my friends, I can give you every tactic, every strategy, how to execute, but if you don't master your mindset, it's virtually impossible to achieve your goals. And while I don't feel I'm at my ultimate level of where I ultimately am going to be, I know that every day I work on my mindset because it's that critical. It's not like we arrive. It's the fact that you've got to keep working on it. You got to know where you're going, and you got to stay consistent in your practice. This Mindset Mastery Masterclass shows you everything you need to know to master your mindset so you can achieve your goals, which is the first step. So the materials, forms, and intellectual property in this course are copywritten by themillionaireseries.com. All rights and information are reserved. All materials and intellectual property is copywritten by themillionaireseries.com. The information we provide is not intended to replace any specialist, any investment, financial, tax, any type of healthcare advice. You've got to get your own team of advisors and review your situation. Before beginning any plan, you agree to consult with your own team of advisors and to review your situation. So my friends, that means that if you get into a yoga position, before you do it, check with your medical experts, your healthcare experts. All participants agree to hold MillionaireSeries.com and its affiliates harmless for results achieved or not achieved, and any reproduction of this material is allowed only with written authorization from the millionaireseries.com. So for today's show notes, go to millionaireseries.com/116.5. For all show notes, go to millionaireseries.com/MI. So our free resource for today is our 20 Millionaire Insider Secrets. As you know, I've been advising millionaires for a very long time, and in the process of that, I learned very quickly that there are things that millionaires know and do that most people don't. And so I started compiling those in a journal, and now I share 20 of them with you in this resource, 20 Millionaire Insider Secrets. You can go to millionaireseries.com/20MIS to access those resources. So let's dive into the Millionaire Yoga training. So what are some of the benefits of yoga? The purpose of yoga is an integration of your mind and your body. It strengthens both, and it also prevents injuries and helps you to calm your mind. Doctors are now using it to reduce back pain, arthritis, headaches, carpal tunnel, weight reduction, cardiovascular health, better metabolism, increased flexibility, helping people to sleep. They started doing a yoga and a meditation class at one of the major financial firms, and I want to say it was Goldman Sachs, but they literally had 100-person wait list. And this was what's fascinating. The article I read, which was written by a business journal, said, yeah, it's like it was having such an impact on people. And then people are going, oh my gosh, I feel so much better. Oh my gosh, I'm getting better sleep. Oh, I'm doing this. Oh, I'm doing that. And they had so many people. They had 100-person wait list. That's the power. All you have to do is start doing it, and you start seeing how amazing it is. About 60 to 80% of the complaints that people bring to their doctor are stress induced. Yoga is one of the most powerful practices that you can incorporate to reduce stress, along with meditation. They're both so powerful because they help to restore your balance and your flexibility and to quiet your mind. There's a Norwegian study that was published that showed that 2 hours of healing yoga combined with various breathing techniques and meditation had significantly positively impacted simply by doing a combination of yoga and breath work. But like when you're doing like spinal twist, it's actually cleansing out your organs. They've done some studies where they actually can see an increase in toxins that come out of you after you've done yoga. It just has an impact on that lymphatic flow of the junk that comes out of you. Even like downward dog can be very, very helpful. And what they found is that by doing a combination of yoga and deep breathing, it actually shuts down and turns the fight or flight system off and turns the relaxation response on. They see impacts in people's blood pressure, their heart rate. It's unbelievable, the research and the benefits of yoga. There's actually a hospital over in India, and it's ran by a mechanical engineer. So for his whole life, he's a mechanical engineer, and now he's running this yoga hospital. And when I heard that, I'm like, what? That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. And when they interviewed him, he said, yeah, I went from being a mechanical engineer to a mental engineer. And so they took you inside and they identified, okay, what's your issue? Heart disease, cancer, diabetes, arthritis. So they have all your issues, ailments listed, and then they have what your treatment is. And they were all different forms of yoga. And they were going on all of the different results they're getting from it. It was absolutely unbelievable. They were talking, I was reading another article where they'd gone and interviewed all these people that had committed to doing yoga, losing weight, quitting smoking, conquering a fear of flying, sleeping. It saved my marriage. It improved my daughter's grades and attitude. As I mentioned, I grew 1.5 inches. Now I like to do restorative yin yoga, and that's what I'm going to show you today. What I like about restorative yin is that it elongates the fascia. So between your muscle and your bones, it elongates it. And as you get older, it's much more helpful. But the other thing that I know is that as I became more flexible in my body, I became more flexible in my mind, and I became more calmer in my life. That's the real benefit. I'm going to give you the vinyasa, and then we're actually going to do it where you're going to actually see it on a video. So the restorative yin yoga vinyasa for growth or height. Now this is one that's good for a lot of things, but this is the one I use and I've used for growth. And there's a few positions in here that are not in here that I'm going to add in. So forward fold. I like to do a forward fold, and you'll see it just sitting down and forward folding and holding that for 2 minutes, followed by a hero pose. Now, I've had knee surgery, so I like to do one knee at a time. It puts less pressure on your knee, and be really sensitive to this. If you have any health issues, as we disclose, you need to consult with a qualified healthcare provider. But I do 1 minute on each side. The spinal twist, you're beginning with your right leg on the bottom, and then you're twisting to the left. So you're twisting like back around. Hold that for 3 minutes on each side. Then I like to do a baby cobra. And so instead of extending your arms all the way up, just do a baby cobra where you're on your forearms. And then pigeon. And you want to start with your right leg first. I like to do 1.5 minutes, and then I like to move my left leg over to the left. Okay, then I like to move my left leg over to the right, so it gives even a deeper stretch. And then you do that on both sides. And then I also like to do frog, because that really opens up your hip flexors. And frog, I don't do it in the video, but if you go down like you're going down to kneel, and then what you do is just keep pushing your legs out to go all the way down as much as you can go down, that really opens up your inner thigh and your hips. So that's the vinyasa that I've used for growing. So for sleeping, forward fold, again, holding it for 2 minutes. Okay, so then you're going to do spinal twist. Again, right leg on the bottom, and you're going to twist left 3 minutes, and then the opposite way. And then you're going to do a hip flexor, Gomukhasana, 2 to 3 minutes per leg. Begin with the right leg on the bottom. Now, for some of you, this is going to be extraordinarily difficult, because you're basically bringing your leg all the way around back, and then you're crossing the other one over the top. Don't worry about it. I mean, when I go to yoga class and I watch people, I mean, there are people that can barely even get in that position. The key is, are you making progress? It's a practice. It's not about judgment. And as you'll see when we go through the video, I'm like, oh, I could have used better form there. So it's easy to judge ourselves, and that's not the goal. Always, always, always end in corpse pose, Shavasana. So you want to end in corpse pose for both of these. Shavasana is where you're able to integrate your yoga practice into your life. You should spend probably, I would say, 5 to 7 to 10 minutes in Shavasana. And it's just where you're just breathing and you're just staying really laser focused. Your hands are in the mudra position facing up. Your feet are slightly apart facing out. So let's dive into the Millionaire Yoga. So there you have it. So it's really not that hard. Now, what you're going to find, and I didn't do it in this episode, but there are some of the hip flexors and the different stretches that I used to not be able to even get into, and now I'm like a master. And believe me, I have so much more room for growth when it comes to my yoga practice, but it's so powerful, so important. So I encourage you to do it. I do it first thing in the morning, and then before I go to bed, I do a mini vinyasa. I do a forward fold, I do spinal twists on both sides, and then I do pigeon. And the reason I do those 3 vinyasas, and then I always end in corpse pose. Ending in corpse pose is critical. But the reason I do those 3 vinyasas is they help you sleep. So powerful, so important. So please subscribe and ring the bell so you get notified of future episodes. This episode was sponsored by Mindset Mastery. You can go to millionaireseries.com/mindset. Let's face it, my friends, if you want to get to your next level, like we all do, you've got to master your mindset. And in this episode, I show you how. For today's show notes, go to millionaireseries.com/116.5 because it's a bonus episode. For all show notes, go to millionaireseries.com/MI. You can get 20 of the best Millionaire Insider secrets I've discovered on my journey advising the top 1% and 2% of millionaires by going to millionaireseries.com/20MIS. So there you have it, my friends, Millionaire Yoga. Isn't that awesome? So one of the things that I do and that I know about yoga is that I've got to do it every day. In fact, I do a chant along with it, and I've gotten to the level where I've probably done over 100,000. It's fascinating. But you get to certain levels based on how many you do. And what I find is that no matter what I have going on in my day, even if I'm catching a 4 a.m. flight, I get up 15 minutes earlier than I need to, and I do my vinyasa. It's that important. I can tell instantly if I've not done my yoga because I don't feel right. My back doesn't feel as good. Everything works better. I feel so much better. So just try it and be easy on yourself, my friends. I've been doing this for over 30 years. This is something that you practice. The reason they call it a yoga practice is because rarely do you ever get to the level where you're an expert. Yeah, there are master yogis, but getting to that level is very challenging. Hey, I'll stick with the practicing terminology because that's where I am and that's where I hope you get. It is so impactful, so important. I want to give you a little bit of insight. So one of the things that was really funny, a lot of people, oh, yoga, oh, meditation. Goldman Sachs started offering it, and what they found is that people were having such a competitive edge by meditating and doing yoga that they had a 100-person wait list because everyone wanted that competitive edge. I'm telling you, my friends, now you have it. You just need to go do it. I hope you really enjoyed today's topic. It's a little different, but raising your vibe is so important to not only creating wealth, but sustaining your wealth, maintaining your lifestyle. And I hope you got that, and I hope you apply it. I love to hear how people are using this material to really change their business, change their life, and change their money. And that's what it's all about. So please go down and share. So I want to thank you so much for attending. I'm Annette Bau, host of the Millionaire Insider. All international copyrights are reserved. I look so forward to seeing you next week, same time, same place. Bye.